So, my dear Virgo, the sun now is in Leo, and Leo is the strength, and here we see in Dali Tarot the constant struggle, right, that Leo has between being someone that is wild, at the same time, of course, also being the one that brings the creative idea out there, but also has a very sage side to it. And so the sun in Leo is at home because the sun is ruling Leo, and the sun is giving the light to the moon, which is in your sign right now. And here we see the subconscious, here we see Pisces, opposite of Virgo. So when you're getting the moon in your sign, you're constantly reminded where you find the peace within you, because that's your opposite sign. That's when you start feeling at home deep within, and you are the hermit. You are the one that looks deep within no matter what, right? But still, here you have an opportunity to really arrive. We're gonna look at the magician. The magician is ruling Virgo. That's Mercury. And Mercury is for us always that moment where we have a conversation, where we have an interaction with someone else, and that's when we learn who we are. Then we're gonna look at the Fool, and the Fool is Uranus. And sometimes we're foolish enough to start something new. That's what Uranus is all about. Uranus has moved into Gemini and is going to stay 7 years. So Gemini is also ruled by Mercury, and so you are feeling that as well, right? Because there is this connection between Uranus that is actually bringing us then also a liberation, or the new zeitgeist, or also the fact that we are wanting to be independent. And we're going to look, of course, at the Knight of Pentacles, and we have 3 variations here. The first one, which I did in the last reading, the Leo energy, the lion above, and here where the soul aspect is Leo, and below it's the Knight of Pentacles, and that's between the 13th to the 21st of August. Is your birthday there? Then please look into the reading before. That's when the moon was in Leo. Then we have the classical Virgo here, soul aspect, the Hermit, and of course the Knight of Pentacles as the human aspect, and that's between the 22nd of August to the 11th of September. This I am doing today. And then we have the third aspect, and that's here the Queen of Swords, and that's between the 12th to the 23rd of September. Is your birthday there? Then you're this combination, and for me this is the combination that I'm living with. I constantly have, as a Virgo, here the Hermit above me, the spiritual aspect, and then here as a human I sometimes can be quite like analytical, and I like to understand things, and sometimes I even cut heads off, and it's more like I cut ego off, right? That's just what I apparently do. Sometimes when people tell me what they don't like about me, it's because I undermine their personality, or I actually cut off their ego. So back to the last reading where we had Cancer, Sun giving Virgo, Moon the light. We also had Jupiter in Cancer that moved and is staying 1 year in Cancer. And the message for the Knight of Pentacles, overcome anxiety and focus within. And for the Queen of Swords, actions speak louder than thoughts. I made a little mistake here in the writing. Actions speak louder than thoughts. Okay, so we are recognizing that sometimes we need to look into the past, right, to realize what's coming again. And I see one card is definitely coming again. And so we can begin the reading. Before I begin, I want to let you know that I'm going to take a break, and I'm not sure if it's a break or if it's an ending. I will let you know, just that you have an understanding. I'm also doing another channel, and I have a yoga channel, and I neglected it quite strongly because I have so many projects that I'm doing, and for right now the English channel needs a break. That's what I feel, right? And maybe I come back, maybe not. I will let you know. So we begin with the Knight of Pentacles. And of course, know that in the next reading you have your new moon. So maybe I still do that one for you, and then I'm ending, right? So understand that you are walking into the new moon. You are walking to the left, and the first card that is coming is the Sota de Espadas. This is Dali's tarot that I gave exclusive to you, right? And here we see the three air signs, which is Gemini, and Gemini is important because Uranus has moved into Gemini, so we're going to look into Gemini, and Libra, and that's for the Queen of Swords important, and of course then Aquarius. So here's the young generation that you're walking into, and they don't even see you coming in. They're already focused on other things than what you're bringing. You're the Knight of Pentacles. Yes, you are the one that looks for the money, but the 6 and the 3 is the 9. That's the completion, and there is already something going on that's saying, well, we are thinking and receiving information that maybe is not of your concern, but still, then nevertheless you get a 9. So in a way, it's important that you're connecting with these 3 zodiac signs, with this young generation, that you start listening to what is coming down, because that's what Mercury brings. Mercury is the magician, and the magician listens, and he receives the information, because also they call Mercury the messenger of gods. What is coming from the Mother Piece Tarot? The 10 of Cups facing down. And I'm just noticing I have another card that is actually coming back, and that's this one. Here, the 10 of Cups was upright. Now you're getting the 10 of Cups facing down, and that's what's so interesting with the Mother Piece Tarot, because the cards are round and you don't know how the card comes up. And so now you are facing the 10 of Cups facing down. And this is an important moment, because this is the happy family. These are the people that are praying to a rainbow. And for some reason, that's maybe not your thing, right? We have the 9 and the 10, which is the 19. That's the Sun. And the Sun in the Strength card, which is not here at Dali, the number 8. It's the 11. Right? Remember the 11, that's a portal. And so we see here Mars in Pisces, a moment of where the young generation has lost faith in the happy family. And maybe this is where you come in. The 19 turns into a 10, the 10 stays. So with an effort that brings maybe the young generation forward in the way they see work, in the way they see the routine, and the way they see how they do anything, has shifted so much through the new zeitgeist, through Gemini, of course, through Aquarius, right? The new technology, etc., that something is feeling off to you, because it's almost like you are not catching up with the new zeitgeist. But here comes the zeitgeist saying, well, you better catch up, because otherwise it's going to be tough for you to continue what you want to do, is to grow with whatever changes comes, right? Sometimes we get stuck in the old and we're like, well, the old was much better. It's not. For the young generation, the old doesn't exist. For them, what they're doing is much better. And that's where the crux is, right? We need to awaken to the fact that life changes constantly. And maybe rightfully so. So now the Queen of Swords is getting the Queen of Pentacles. And she's the 7th zodiac sign, and she's the 10th zodiac sign, and together we get a 17, and that's Aquarius. So the Queen of Swords can adapt easier than here the Knight of Pentacles. He's maybe a little stuck in the way he's doing things, right? And we recognize now here that she is actually looking over to her. And the Queen of Pentacles is not looking at her. Now what's interesting, if I would read to the right, which I do when it's going to your full moon, then the Queen of Pentacles is looking at the Queen of Swords. Very interesting, right? So now it's the reverse. So the 17 turns into the 8, and the 8 usually is strength card, but here in Dali it's the 11. So there's a strength that comes up when these two work together, right? Earth, groundedness, and of course then here the space, the consciousness. Something interesting can appear here. Now what is the Queen of Pentacles saying? She's getting the 6 of Pentacles, and that's the moon in Taurus. The moon is in your sign, so it's not in Taurus. And you see here the 6 of Pentacles is literally saying, well, you got to come into your equilibrium. You got to give and you got to take. You got to understand that Taurus is the one that gives and takes. And that we understand clearly that here is a moment where the 8 and the 6 creates the 14. There comes temperance, there comes the equilibrium between masculine and feminine, and in there we find the same, right? We find the middle path, because she's in the middle, and she has 3 coins and 3 coins either side. It's almost like she's like juggling with them. And of course the 6 of Pentacles is that also the family constellations that we're born into are bringing us the worth, the self-worth that Taurus is all about, how we handle money. Now what is coming from the Mother Peace Tarot? You're getting the Hierophant to the right, and the Hierophant to the right is literally pointing then over here to the Queen of Pentacles, right? And so you see that the Queen of Pentacles is literally here looking into the 6 of Pentacles. Now here is Taurus, and this is moon in Taurus, and Taurus is here. So the 5 and the 6 is an 11. And so the 11th of August could be a date, or the 8th of November. And you see that here the 10 and the 5 creates the 15, and that's the Capricorn, that's the work, that's the success, that's the climbing up the ladder, needs to be in balance. The 6 of Pentacles is important, that you understand how important we are giving and taking is, and that's where the justice lies. So what is the Hierophant bringing? The Hierophant is bringing the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups has come up as well. The Pages of Cups has come, and the 10 of Cups has come and is speaking again. So Taurus is getting the 3 generations of water, of emotions, of feelings, and that's Cancer, that's Scorpio, and that's Pisces. So here we have an 11, then we have here the 17 and the 3, because these are people. Court cards, right? Here's a soul aspect, the Hierophant, institutions, banks, and the money that's working together, the portal use the portal to work with money. And then here, Libra, Capricorn, and here, of course, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So that creates a 20. And the 20 is the last judgment. And so there is a message coming. We gotta really be more conscious in the way we act in this world, because the 20 is Pluto, and Pluto is ruling Scorpio, and Scorpio is right here. So the 20th of November is a date that stays here. And I think to understand this message, it's like we gotta put ourselves into the shoes of someone else. And I think sometimes it's difficult because it's like air and earth. This is masculine and this is feminine. Sometimes doesn't fit, doesn't go together. But nevertheless, right, sometimes we have to. And then because of the Six of Pentacles after, it's almost like saying, yeah, there is an equilibrium between these two. And still there is Taurus that says, well, what are you worth in front of the other? And define that with love, with care. Now comes the Fool, and that's Uranus. And Uranus is bringing you the Wheel of Fortune. And that's Jupiter. Jupiter is in Cancer right now, and Cancer has come up here through a young generation. And so the 10 and the 0 is 100. And the Wheel of Fortune is showing us that we are going constantly through these cycles. The 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Here we begin and we go up and then we become old. And it's a very powerful analogy, right? It's actually showing you that this cycle is infinite. It's a wheel. And so Jupiter is literally saying, yes, be foolish enough to actually now work with Jupiter that is in Cancer to become someone that you don't know that you could become. What is Jupiter saying? He is bringing you touch the sky. The number 32. Which then, when we calculate together, we get the 5, the 3, the Empress, and the 2, the High Priestess, right? The two most powerful women in the major arcana. It's almost like saying you touch the sky when you use Jupiter in Cancer. And you see how she's bringing her hair down. She has a bird over her right shoulder. The hair is coming down in her left braid. And the left is the infinite feminine. And the right is the infinite masculine. And so we see that the 10 and the 5 is the 15. That's at work. At work, you have infinite moments of redefining yourself, of going up and coming down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Right here you're at the peak, and here you dying. When you exhale, you letting go. Then you inhale, and then you exhale. And it's going to the right, the path out to the right, but we're going to the left, to the new moon. And so the 15 then turns into a 6, and the 6 is self-love. The 6 is I have arrived. Now, what is coming from Gemini? We get the 6 of Pentacles a second time. And it's like then a 6-6 portal here. But we also had the 100. So the 5 and the 6 is 11. So there's a portal, the 11 portal that is coming here with the 6. And we had the 11 portal with the 6 of Pentacles in this deck that came from the Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant, the 5. And so there was an 11 there, and now we get another 11 with here the 32 and the 6. If I calculate the 32 and the 6, I get the 38, and that's also then creating the 11 portal when we calculate the 8 and the 3 together. No matter what, you get a portal. No matter what, here Uranus is bringing to both the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, it brings the portal of prosperity. It brings the portal of go out there and do what you have to be doing. Because the 10 and the 11, we have 3 times the 1. But we also have the 100. Remember that. That's important because the 100 is like, that's a lot, right? The 100 is the next level. So now the magician Mercury, what kind of conversations you're having? And you're having conversations about Pachamama. Because here we have our ideas and our language in Mercury. The magician is using that. And the 1 and the 4 is the 41. We get a 5 again. And so Taurus, Hierophant, the 5. And of course here, touch the sky, the 5. And then here, a 5. What is Leo saying? Because Mercury is right now in Leo retrograde. We get the Ace of Wands. And the Ace, that's the push from the strength, from Leo. That's the push, right? Because Leo is the one that says, well, what else do you want to create as a magician? Through Pachamama. It's almost like Pachamama is looking at this idea and is evaluating it and saying, yes, I support you, or no, I don't support you, because here again you have a 1, 1. You have an 11 here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times the 1, but you also have here an 11, remember? It's almost like it's reminding me the 8 in Dali's tarot, and this is what I'm learning, right? It's like, it's not an 8, it's an 11. Wow. Then the 4, the Empress here, and the 0, then the Fool, and the Fool brought here, then Jupiter, and touch the sky. Then you touch the sky with whatever idea you're going to bring out. You have the money, you have Moon in Taurus, and the Queen of Swords has twice the Moon in Taurus, right? She's really like, she has actually 12 coins. That's all 12 zodiac signs. She's like, that's it. I can make money of all 12 zodiac signs if I am connecting to what I want to bring into this world. It's clear, right? And so Pachamama, the earth, is evaluating this idea, and if you work with earth and if you're respectful with earth, it will work, right? That's how this world functions. Then the moon is bringing you the galactic mushroom. And the moon, as the Pisces energy, is literally saying, well, then trust that there is the galactic mushroom, that there is a divine matrix, there is the 24, that's a 6. And here the 18 turns into a 9. The 9 and the 6 is the 15. That's again the work, the self-worth that you need to incorporate in your life to become someone that knows it can climb any mountain, it can climb up the ladder for work, for whatever it is that we want to achieve, but also that we need to figure out like the coming and the going of the money. We need to work with money. We need to be clever with money. Money has a power in itself that's just so huge. And so this is a 6. So here we have a 6 and a 6 and a 6 portal. 3 times the 6, that's the hexagram, right? And they call it the sign of the beast. Well, for a reason, right? Because with that you can create whatever it is you want to create. Then you're stepping out of the matrix and you're stepping into the galactic mushroom, which is the internet of nature. Now what's coming from your deck, right? Because the moon is in your sign, you're getting the Knight of Swords, which is Gemini. And so Gemini has spoken with the 6 of Pentacles, right? Because Uranus is in Gemini, and Gemini, that's the deck. And so the 6 of Pentacles is literally saying, yes, be in the mix, right? The 24 plus the 3 is the 27, because it's the 3rd zodiac sign. The 27 is the 9. the 9-9 portal here. Then you can do things if you include the mind into what you're doing. And here we had Gemini also with the pages, the young generation, and here this is already the next generation. And then, of course, I want to see now what is actually Gemini saying, and you get the 8 of Wands. Then Mercury in Sagittarius is going to bring you the success really quick if you connect to Mercury, because Mercury is connected with Gemini. Uranus is in Gemini. And so through Mercury, you can attach yourself to the success. And you had here the Wheel of Fortune. And then things happen really fast. And in that really fast, sometimes we're overwhelmed how fast something can actually all of a sudden move forward. And then the money situation needs to be really sorted out. And you need to know that, yes, you need to know how to give and take. And you need to know that money can come really fast through the universe, through a Gemini, through conversations, through the communication, through showing yourself out into the world. And he is walking into this. You see that? And then behind him is this, because Sagittarius is opposite of Gemini. They're like Pisces and Virgo, opposite of each other. And we need to see the two zodiac signs together, because that's the union we all want to incorporate. And for you, Virgo, you need to incorporate Pisces. And so behind Gemini is here Mercury, which is the magician of Mercury, which is the magician in Sagittarius. So that's what here he is bringing. And it's a really cool message, right? I really love it. Then the sun in Leo is bringing you the desert. And in the desert, we see that there is the 13. And in the 13, we see the transformation. We see that she's in a space of, I want to be alone. I have the 3 birds. That's the Empress. And when you quickly look at it, it could be a horse. But it's a woman on a swing, and she's just like, I'm enjoying the quiet. And so I think August is going to bring you the quiet. The 19 is the 10 and the 4, the 14 is bringing you the equilibrium. And in that equilibrium, the 5 appears. And of course, I didn't calculate here the 8 of Wands plus the Ace of Wands, which is 9 Wands. And 9 Wands is important because 9 Wands is saying, well, are you ready for what you have in store? And what you need to understand in the 9 is always, it's the completion that you feel when you arrive here. So the 5, right, is left. And then is Leo saying to the whole moment, it's the 4 of Wands. So 9 Wands and 4 are 13 Wands. So it's really interesting because here's the 13. And so we see, of course, that the 13, the 4 and the 10, the 14, the 5 and the 4 is the 9. And you are appearing. You are the 9. And the 19 has a 9 in it and a 1. But we also have 8 wands and 1 wand are 9 and 4 are 13. The 4 is left, a 4-4 portal. And in that 4-4 portal, you understand that the 4 is here in the galactic mushroom. And you know, okay, I am ready to do what it takes to make myself successful, because this is Venus in Aries, and Aries is, of course, right now pushing us because Neptune and Saturn are in Aries, and it's pushing us to push boundaries, borders, rules and regulations, and our dreams out there and make it happen. And these are the 3 birds because Venus is the 3, is the Empress, and you can really make it happen. The 4-4 and the 10. A new cycle that you are now beginning through Leo. Leo's here to push you forward. Leo's here to give you the fire. Leo's here to also give you that momentum, that electric boost, right? And it's like you understand the 12 Pentacles, and you also understand that there is a 4 here, so you have 3 times the 4. 4, 4, 4. But you have to unite the 13, right? The 13 then is the transformation. You need to go deep within. It's almost like saying Pachamama is telling you, yes, you better go deeper within. You better go into solitude. Because then that spark, this idea, then that I can give you the 4 and the 1 is the 5, right? The 5 and the 8 is, of course, the 13. And the 13, that's again the 4. And so the 4 is left and saying 4, 4, 4, you are realizing something profound. You are realizing that you are here to awaken this idea, make it happen. Then you have Gemini helping you, right? You have the galactic mushroom helping you. That's like in your subconscious. And the sun is helping you go deep within, because Pachamama is looking at this and saying, okay, if that's what you want, I can bring you that. But you need to go and look deep within where you're going to put that spark, because that spark is something that you're pushing out there. Then the money is coming for the Queen of Swords, right? For the Knight, the 10 of Cups, you got to turn them around, right? Then here the 10 and the 6 is the 16, the Tower. Sometimes you got to let go things, particularly in the way you think, like a Gemini or like a Libra or like an Aquarius, right? You got to change the way you think so that you see Mars in Pisces is like the 16, right? That's Mars. Mars in Pisces. You got to let go of things. And you have here a 10 and a 10 and a 10. 3 times the 10. Be the Empress that is bringing you wonderful things, bringing you the 3 birds here, liberation, and the idea of a success that is bringing you up in the sky so you can touch it and see that there are 5 birds and 1 here, that's 6 birds. And then you understand that here comes this, right, deeper within the message of the 6, a 666. And of course, in that 666, you see that the galactic mushroom is simply supporting you in whatever you want to do. Wow. So, of course, I would like to say I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the sun in Virgo and new moon. And I think I'm going to do that reading just for you because I think it's important. Until then, I thank you, of course, so much for being with me. Namaste.